Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, we're going to start our ongoing meditation session now. Be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and focus your mind to this bell sound, please. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, relax your breathing with your thoughts. Do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in these ongoing meditation sessions, we try to share some informations regarding tranquility meditation and insight meditation. So then you can develop a good, clear foundation. Especially as you know, in the world nowadays, with this pandemic situation and this all the machines and technology, all the gadgetics playing a big role in our life. And then people are now becoming more interested regarding this artificial intelligence. You have to remember that its word itself called artificial. So that's mean it's not going to help for your real life. That is the truth. So end of the day, how you develop your mind is going to be matter for you. So then, even though we deal with this all the machines and technology, always remember, when it comes to your life, your happiness, your contentment, your satisfaction, your awareness, it's come out of your mental practice. So, and at the same time now, there is something becoming more famous. This artificial intelligence and also this artificial enlightenment. So that's why this learning this technique is very important. What is this artificial enlightenment? Because people get some information about the enlightenment, and sometimes people think achieving to the highest happiness with their emotions, or gaining something whatever they want and finding the self-desire, and so settle down with that is kind of like some people believe it's like an enlightenment. Another thing is mentally they create something in their mind and they caught up in that their own mental image, and then they start to believe it is kind of like an enlightenment. So then you have to remember that how you can find the real enlightenment. So it is by words, just you cannot deeply that understand, but still there is a way that you can understand about this. Otherwise, how the Buddha taught about the enlightenment or the nibbana or the liberation to just ordinary people. And as you know, during Buddha's time, just look how that what kind of people attain to the enlightenment, because they didn't have any educational qualification sometimes, like Sunita Sopaka and the servant girl like Rajumala and the gangster like Angulimala. He had some educational background, but still that it is not kind of like intellect. It doesn't depend on intellectual qualifications. But how you can recognize this? What is enlightenment then? In the beginning, you should know a little bit about it, even though before you experience something, because that understanding will help you to go into that direction. So when it comes to that enlightenment, the one of the thing is there is no suffering. There is no any suffering depend on that moment. Another thing is there is no happiness. So if you look for a happiness, then you have kind of like mental formations to understand that. So when it comes to that, there is no happiness. That is the reason that it becomes the bliss. So then in ordinary life, mostly we think out of gaining happiness to achieve to something. But always remember, when there is something, it cannot appear itself. It always depends on something else. So whatever we see as happiness in this conventional life, if you look for the total satisfaction through something and to gain towards you, and then you're going to caught up in the pain. So then in the very first level, you have to let go the idea of this gaining or looking for satisfaction. So that is something in your mind, that is where we're going to practice little by little, little by little. Actually, when it comes to the mind, to exist mind itself, it doesn't need the satisfaction that whatever you believe, this conventional satisfaction. Your mind no need that. We just put it there. It's like this. I'll give some examples to understand it. The fish born to water and the birds born to wind. The human mind born to enlightenment. So the fish born to ocean, the water, when the fish in the water, that it cannot get lost. You cannot tell if the fish in the water, the fish lost. You cannot tell that. If the bird in the wind, the bird cannot get lost. Why? Because the bird born to wind, it has a deeper connection. So the same like your human, that existence, not other existence. And we don't know about it. It is a different subject. We don't need to go there in this very limited time. Just I want to bring some kind of taste regarding your own practice. So then remember, when you born as a human being, you born to enlightenment, not for just look for satisfaction. Just imagine. So then what is this? How you can gain this? Just imagine you have to uh, uh, just be with me and get it very clearly. Just imagine one day you have to let go this everything. There's nothing that you can hold. You have, it doesn't matter you like or not, you hate or love, it doesn't matter you want it or not, that everything you have to let go. It's going to happen. It happened to all of us. Listen this very carefully, and then when you have time, make a cup of tea, sit very comfortably and start to think. You can get this. And you're going to go with only one thought. You're not going to have two thoughts. You don't have that choice in life when you end. Imagine you have house, cars, family, husband, wife, children, and many properties, maybe the business, workplace, tools, box, many things. And in your mind, you have this much memory, that much memory, you have this much plan, that's everything. Just imagine that everything dropped to one thought. One single thought, that's it. It's going to happen to you. So then remember, when you sit for meditation, get into that one thought before you die. You're going to attain to enlightenment. That is where you're going to experience. Get into one single thought before you die. In consciously, you have to take a conscious decision, and you have to come to, by effort, with very clear understanding, get into one single thought. That is where you're going to meet. What is this liberation? So that is where we go. In the beginning, for that, we have to develop tranquility state of mind. So which we call samatha bhavana or chitta bhavana. So for that, we need primary mental object in the beginning. Why? Because this mind has chitta, chaitasika, rupa. Chitta is mind. Mind, consciousness, awareness, this all. Mano, chitta, vijnana, this all. There are many names for this, but it is the same meaning. Chaitasika, that's mean thoughts. So what is the tranquility state? This is one. So when you take a conscious decision, it called your awareness, your consciousness. So the consciousness cannot observe itself, the consciousness cannot do that. Why? Because the consciousness, there is nothing solid that the consciousness can observe itself. So listen this very carefully and be with me. So the consciousness always changes. So if it is always changed, then how the consciousness can observe itself? It cannot observe that. So then chitta chaitasika, then the mind has thoughts. So then you take a conscious decision to get a primary mental object. So that is where the thoughts start to flow. So you take a conscious decision, and out of that thoughts, the decision, your mind start to flow. That is what the thoughts, then the thought start to go towards that. So then you take a primary mental object. As example, you observe about this. You're going to observe this. So then we take the primary mental as our sensation, or you can take whatever. But mostly as the master technique, we observe contemplating inhalation, exhalation. Your primary mental object, sensation. So that your conscious decision. And then your thoughts, when you meet, when the thoughts and your awareness or the mind going to be same in the same object or the same frequency, that is what called samadhi. So then you take a conscious decision. So I will give a negation, then you can understand. You take a conscious decision to observe this. So that is a conscious decision, that is your mind. But thought start to think about what is who made this. See that the conscious get the help out of this and go beyond this. Who made this? For what you can use this? So then, so that your conscious decision observing this, but out of that, what is happening, your thought start to go beyond it. And then you have the busy mind. So when the mind and the thoughts come together and stay together, settle down together, that is where your tranquility state going to be. So that is the first qualification that you should have. So that is what we're trying to develop through the tranquility meditation, samadhi, chitta bhavana, samatha bhavana. So then whatever the primary mental you select, when you take a conscious decision, because that is your free will, you are responsible for that. Whatever the conscious decision you take, I'm going to observe the sensation, then again and again, try to bring your thoughts pattern towards it. And the certain level, the thoughts going to be with that. And when you start to recognize it and when you start to meet that, and your mind and the thought start to have a deeper connection, because this both happening at once. It's like the fire and the heat. It's not going to be one later. No, it's both happening together. The same like your awareness, your thought pattern, this both come together. That connection allow you to enter to deeper experience. Because without that connection, it's like this. When you put the key into the hole, and if it is the right key and all the necessary cuts come together, and when you turn it, that whole system start to respond to that. It's nothing go wrong. It cannot go wrong. If you put the wrong key, then it's not going to work like that way. But when you put the right key and when you turn, if all the cuts come together and match it, and when you turn, what happening, that whole entire system, the entire system respond. It has different parts, but this entire system start to work, respond. The same like when your mind and the thoughts come together with the primary mental object, that means your conscious decision and the thought patterns start to come together. In that very moment, your entire head to toes whole nerve system, each and every cell in your body start to follow that. In that moment, if you're able to experience that moment, you get out of the 5 hindrance. No desire, no any kind of anger or resistance, no any dualistic mind or comparison, no any doubt, no any laziness or lethargic mind. It's like that. Because whole entire system, That is the entering point. So you get out of the hindrance. That's mean, what are the hindrance? Why it called hindrance? Because it is block your path to attain to Nibbana. So then remember, your conscious decision is you are responsible. That's why even in the conventional life, each and everybody punish if you make some mistakes, even the law and order, everything. Why? Because you are responsible for your conscious decision. Even sometimes maybe some can say the God create you, but when you, that doesn't mean you can have a decision and give the responsible for the God. No, you are responsible for your conscious decision. So the samadhi means you take a conscious decision and you keep the thoughts with that. And once you come to that point, what will happen? Your mind will get out of this all the hindrance, and whatever the perception come to you, you're going to see things as it is. That is the first experience. So without past experience, you're able to experience the moment. And then when you keep observing that, so in the very first level, you're going to experience the inner experience, how you experience this. That is why it called insight meditation. Form, feeling, sensation, formation, recognition. 5 aggregates. So mostly we aware regarding outside world, but when the perception happen, how you respond to that, that is what you're going to understand. And not only that, when you come to that experience, that is where you're going to understand that whatever you experience, there is experience. That when somebody pinch like this, you have the feelings. Otherwise, you are not a human being. So listen this very carefully. When you cannot claim there is no world, this everything empty, what you experience is not real, this all illusion, you cannot tell like that. Then how about this world? Why the Buddha come to this world and explain the Dhamma? Then why you have to practice meditation if there this everything illusion, when you die, that everything should go back to its own form. But it doesn't happen. How then you become again? Where the power that you bound to it? So then, that deeply what you're going to understand. You experience things, but in that experience, nothing permanent. That is what, that doesn't mean, remember this. Recognizing this is impermanent is not, this is, see, this you can touch it, you cannot tell this is nothing. Even though this made out of the 4 elements, you cannot tell this is nothing, this is here. You can touch it, you can bite it, there is a taste, and you can cut it, you can bring something else out of this. So then how you can tell this is nothing? No. So there are teachings like that. We don't go that way. But when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, even though you can see this, even though you experience this, you can touch it, you can feel it, that what you experience as touching, as feeling, as seeing whatever you in you, that anything is not permanent. That doesn't mean there is nothing. No, what you experience, maybe there is something, but it is not going to be permanent. That is where you have to settle down. That is what called insight meditation. When you are able to recognize and settle down with your own inner experience, and when you recognize what you experience is not permanent, then out of that experience, out of that wisdom, you will come to a point to understand how this is not going to be permanent. But without, this is the mistake. This become artificial enlightenment. How it become artificial intelligence? Enlightenment. that what I experience, I hold as permanent experience and I claim this as impermanent. And I try to give up everything in the world thinking that everything impermanent, but myself, I looking for inner peace. So I looking myself to exist the way I want. So don't caught up in that. In Theravada Buddhist tradition, we don't teach that. So that's why we need the teachings. So then Vipassana means not you have a mantra kind of like the impermanent, change. No. You very clearly first have to see what you experience, pain, sensation, or even your body, even your name, anything you can take. Look, it is real. You are there. That's why you do this everything. Look it. But deeply see in that what happening. Then you're going to see it's always changed. So then what you experience is changing. And try to settle down there. Once you settle down to that, your mind not going to bound to anything, and that is where your mind and thoughts can come to agreement and stay together. And in that very moment, you can reduce the current little by little, little by little, little by little, little by little, and you can come to a one single thought. When you're able to come to a one single thought, that is where you can jump beyond that. But without that, don't try. Just first try to reduce the thoughts. So that is the tranquility state. And once you recognize that one single thought is the moment of change, in that very moment, that is where you get out of even that thoughts. That is where your liberation going to happen. So let's get into practice a little bit. And your right palm on your left, neck head straight in one line. So bring your attention to your body, please. Scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say so patveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation, and later observe the change happening moment by moment within each and every inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times, please, and find the sensation in front of your nose and your upper lip area. Just keep focus your attention to the sensation, and through the sensation recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation. Do nothing extra. Bring a little bit more attention and follow the entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation. Be aware about the length and the depth of the inhalation, exhalation also. Just bring attention to the change that you experience through the sensation. Don't go with any other details. Just see how your sensation change moment by moment. Bring attention to your body and observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding yourself like this with clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one, out of anger or ill will, wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward, visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward, and upward. Into all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light Spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, there was a young boy and he thought to become a monk. In the forest, there was a monastery and he went to become a monk. And then, after the necessary time period, he trained and he became a monk. Then he started to practice all the meditation and all other activities, temple activities. But he understood that not going to work for him. And it became very hard for him. So he gave up that life. Then one day he thought to disrobe. So what he thought, now disrobe, and he cannot go to village again because people knows him. Then he came to the river. Close by the temple there was a river. And he thought, jump to the river and swim. And then maybe pass after passing the village and he can get out and then go to somewhere else. But he didn't have any clothes. So he cannot go with the robe. He cannot swim with this robe even. And then maybe people will recognize. So what he did, he took out all the robes and everything. He jumped to the river, just naked. And then little bit he was swimming and then he found a piece of wood. And he hold it and with the help of that, start to swim. So then he passed the village and then little bit went down. Then what happened in the next village? There were two girls came to have the bath. And they saw there was a piece of wood keep coming. And then one girl told to other girl, oh, there is a piece of wood coming. It is good for fire. So then I am the one who saw it first. So it belonged to me. Then little by little, when it came little closer, they saw, and in that wood there is something. Because this guy holding the wood and coming. And then other girl told, oh, there is something on the top of the wood. And so wood belong to you, whatever that other one is, that whatever it is, it belonged to me. So they agreed. And then what happened when the 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 wood came closer, and they saw there was this young boy, and the one girl, ran away, the girl who claimed the wood, because there's this naked man here. So the other girl took him, and then and gave some piece, cloth, and helped him to cover himself, and told, brother, come with me, let's go to home. And then she took him to the home, and her parents welcomed him, and even this girl didn't have a boyfriend. So then told, oh, you look good, innocent, and because he used to be a monk for a while, and healthy. So can you take care of my child? So he agreed, because he didn't have any plan in life. So then he start his life. But he didn't know anything to do any work. He didn't know farming or any other work, how to survive himself. Then by the time the parents got little bit mad and told to the daughter, this is the only we can help for you. More than this, we cannot help. Now you have to start your own life. And then the father gave a piece of land and told them, okay, from here you start your life. So both of them, and the guy also accepted that, and knew, we are married and we have a family now. Now we have to start our life. And they start to work. And then one day, this both of them having hard time, not that he cannot find any money and cannot do anything. He don't know how to do anything. They having a discussion and told to his wife, we came to this hard time because in the samsara we didn't give enough. Otherwise, it's not going to happen to us like this way. Look at the village. Each and everybody have things. But in the samsara, we didn't give enough. So this is a good for us to practice something. So then what he did, he used to be in the temple and he know about the dana and giving thing. And they found little bit rice for them, but they eat half and they didn't eat full. They decided to give half for monks. And what he did, he start to find that make little bit food out of that rice, and found a monk close by the village. Every day go and start to offer. Now the wife helped him, and day by day, they eat half and they give half. So by the time what happened, he thought he need to find work. So then he saw there was a huge paddy field, and he went to the owner and told, so I would like to work here. Can you give me work? So the owner asked, what are the experience you have? Then he told, I don't know anything. So then the owner told, but how then I can give this all the paddy field for you to work, because you don't have any experience. Then what happened? Anyway, then he gave a little bit piece of paddy peel to cut it and clean it. So this guy did it very well, and the owner became very happy. So then he found little bit more money, and day by day he started to work. One day the owner became so happy because he worked so hard, and then he gave in that more than that what he deserved. So Then he had a lot of money, and then on the way he saw there was a cow for sale, and he bought the cow. So he's little by little, little start to and earn little by little. But the important thing, he didn't give up that giving dana. Every day, somehow he find a way, and half of his food, he start to give. Then by the time, then what happened? He gave half of the food for a monk. Now he had little bit food for him. At the same time, what happened? There was the monk he saw come towards him. And then he thought, oh, it's okay that I myself can find something. This is a good opportunity for me. And this, by the way, this monk, it was an enlightened master and he didn't know that. So the food that he already had for him, and he offered to this enlightened master. And in that moment, and he became so happy. So, and and he came back, and then the wife, he shared the story with the wife, and the wife was so happy and told, oh, sadhu, 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 I am so proud you are my husband. And she also became a part of that merits. And then what happened the very next day? There was a huge wind and the rain and the tornado and hit everything, and they both died. And then they born in the heaven because of the merits that they have done. Look at this naked boy, and he didn't have anything. It's not about the monk. He didn't have anything. He just a naked boy. And just with the help of the piece of wood, and he just go with the stream downward. Didn't have any hopes. But finally, that he end up with the woman. And look at this woman, the girl. She found a boy, very naked boy with the piece of wood, not with the money or the luxurious things or anything. And then look how they transform their life. And end of the death, they attain to the higher existence. So in our life, that we always look for things. We think this outside thing should be perfect. To be perfect for ourselves. It is not like that. It is what you practice inside you. Cannot overtake by this outside nature. It's always what you practice inside is become stronger. So then always remember yourself, develop some profitable skills. When it comes to that profitable skill, one of the major hindrance that we have, the desire or the lust. Your wisdom, your nibbana covered by the lust. And because of the lust, it funding to your ignorance. The ignorance is the major. But your desire or the lust govern in this conventional world. So what is happening? The lust funding to deeper your ignorance. With the lust, you cannot get out of the ignorance. So to get out of the ignorance, don't struggle with it. Start to give up the lust. How you can do that? In the beginning, start with the bodily action. That is what called generosity or the dana. So that dana, in the beginning, you have to give. You have to give little by little, little by little. When you develop this giving, what will happen? In a certain level, the giving is a physical action. Giving is a physical action. When you develop that in a certain level, it becomes a mental action. When giving is a physical action, when it transforms to mental action, it becomes give up. If you don't give up, just giving doesn't work. So sometimes you can give in the physical world, in conventional world, but mentally you hold it to things. But if you little by little, with the intention to get out of the lust, if you start to give, and it will transform to give up. When you able to give up things, and then naturally your mind going to become free from the lust. When the mind become free from the lust, what will happen? It is start to open your wisdom. So it's like this. The giving up things, it is not a by thought. It should come in the physical action in the beginning. And then little by little, when that physical, when you master that action, then it mentally you can transform yourself. So it like this, kind of like, the little muddy place, like puddle. Then when there are kind of like a lotus come, or if there are little flowers come, that puddle become a pond. Otherwise, it becomes just a muddy place. So like that, when you just give, it's the mind is kind of like that muddy place. But it become a pond when you start to give up, your mind going to become something else. It transforms to completely different level. That is what you need. So that is where that you can come little by little, that you can come to a point to have less thoughts. When you have less thought, that in a certain level, that you start to experience the physical freedom. Otherwise, our life is like a spider. When the spider creates the web, and it settle down in the middle, what happening? So wherever in that net, if something hit, the spider cannot stay away without responding. It's because it bound to the net, it naturally go towards that. But the net is not the spider, it settled down in the middle. Maybe it is huge. Then what happening? Whatever hit, that it reached to that place. And the starfish, like 5 fingers like this. And if you cut one finger, the starfish itself cannot stay away from that finger. Naturally, it start to grow. Unconsciously, it happening. So like that. So whatever at home around you today, imagine, maybe you don't use it. Maybe it is there itself. But mentally, everything in you, it's like you hold that everything like a spider. So let that things to be there. You no need to throw it away. But the practice is that what you have to develop, start to get it out of your mind. Get it out. Don't contemplate on it. Don't mentally live with it. Let it be there. Even you have the jewelries, valuable cloth or ornaments or anything, that everything belongs to your body. Let it be in the body. Don't get it to the mind. Just imagine that you have a bank account that is for your name, and you don't have that all the money in your hand. You have some money in your bank account. So, and it belongs to your name. And then your name belongs to your body. That's why you have the identity. So that identity show you your face, not your mind. So in case, imagine you have the same mind, but if your face change, you cannot get that money anymore. You are if you completely physically become a different person, you cannot claim that money for you. So like that, this conventional life always keep the connection with this physical form. So you have to understand that. And then keep that. It's like that way. But your mind, this anything, only you, yourself, you hold it to your mind. This other anything is doesn't care about your mind. That everything may be respond to that your physical, this outside appearance. Even your husband, wife, children, friends, and family members, and in case you have the same mind, just imagine you have the same mind, and if you are completely change your physical appearance, other people are not going to accept you as you. They will tell, no, 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 you are not our father. You are not our mother. You are not my husband, my wife. They will slowly take you away from. That's why when people, attach to the physical appearance, and later they give up them. So then remember, the mind, or you are the only one responsible for your mind. So then whatever that belong to this around you, remember, don't hold by mind. It's not going to come with you. That's why one day everything going to go. So then always protect your mind. And how you can protect your mind? Not with the things. Protect your mind with awareness. When the mind come to awareness, it's like this. Your foot get into the shoe, right shoe. Because if your foot get into the right shoe, what happening? You forget your foot. So if your mind get into the awareness, you don't want this anything. That is where you find your ultimate bliss and your inner freedom, your liberation. And you have to do it by conscious, decision. And again by practicing little by little, little by little, little by little. So then remember yourself. Deeper in you, there is something you didn't touch it. So before you die, it is possible for you. And how? Free your mind. So then start to release things from the mind. And then remember to give up, and rather than holding. And then allow your wisdom to arise. And once the wisdom arises, that means your awareness becomes sharper and clear. When your awareness settles down in you, that is the day you gain your ultimate bliss of liberation, or the Nibbana. So with that, I bless upon everyone. With this good practice, may all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you, may no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and liberation in this very lifetime and end of this sansaric journey. May all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata ca ammehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe sattanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya idam me punya kammang Asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.